Long Talks, Paper. Page 54. Example from the Paper TOEFL Test. Questions 1 through 4. Listen to a lecture in a history class.
Salt, which today seems so plentiful to us, in the past used to be a valuable commodity. In the ancient past in China, salt was used to make coins, and in parts of Africa it was traded in place of money. In the Roman Empire, soldiers were not paid in money, but were instead paid in salt. In fact, the English word salary, which means the amount of money that one earns, comes from the Latin root for salt.
Number 1. What is the topic of the talk? Number 2. What was salt used for in China? Number 3. What does salary mean in English? Number 4. What is the meaning of the root sal in Latin? Exercise 11, page 58. Listen to the first part of each of the talks and decide on the topic of each talk. Number 1. The first part of Talk 1 is,
One of the most deadly plants in the world is poison hemlock. This plant grows in many parts of the world. It is quite dangerous to humans. People can die if they eat it.
What is the topic of Talk 1? Number 2. The first part of Talk 2 is,
Today, we're going to see something that most of you have probably never seen before. A frog jumping contest. This frog jumping contest is part of the Calaveras County Fair in Calaveras County, California.
What is the topic of Talk 2? Number 3. The first part of Talk 3 is,
Hello, I'm Mr. Teal, the head librarian, and I'd like to explain to you about checking out books from this library.
What is the topic of Talk 3? Page 59. Example from the Paper TOEFL Test. Questions 1 through 3. Listen to a talk about cats.
Many people are allergic to cats. If they come in contact with cats, they sneeze, their skin turns red, and their eyes begin to burn. However, it's not only people who suffer from allergies. Cats may also be allergic to pollen, dust, and perfumes, many of the same agents that cause allergies in people. Perhaps your cat is sneezing and has watery eyes. If you think that your cat has some allergies, a veterinarian can prescribe medication to help solve the problem.
Number 1. What happens to people who suffer from allergies? Number 2. What is mentioned about cats? Number 3. What can someone do with a cat that has allergies? Exercise 12, page 60. Listen to each complete talk and answer the questions that follow. Questions 1 through 4. Listen to a lecture by a biology professor.
One of the most deadly plants in the world is poison hemlock. This plant grows in many parts of the world. It is quite dangerous to humans. People can die if they eat it. One thing that makes poison hemlock really dangerous is that it looks like some plants that people normally eat. Hemlock belongs to the same family of plants as the carrot. The leaves of the plant look very much like parsley, and its roots look like carrots. People have died when they've made a mistake and have eaten poison hemlock when they thought that they were eating either parsley or carrots.
Number 1. What is the topic of the talk? Number 2. Where is hemlock found? Number 3. What is true about hemlock? Number 4. What can happen to someone who eats hemlock? Questions 5 through 8. Listen as a tour guide describes what some tourists are going to see.
Today, we're going to see something that most of you have probably never seen before: a frog jumping contest. This frog jumping contest is part of the Calaveras County Fair in Calaveras County, California. In this frog jumping contest, about 2,000 frogs and their owners participate, and more than 40,000 people usually come to watch. The frog owners encourage their frogs to jump by yelling, screaming, jumping, singing, talking, blowing, any way they can. To win the contest, a frog needs to jump 3 times in a row. This contest is based on a story by Mark Twain. It's called The Celebrated Jumping Frog of Calaveras County. Twain published the story in 1865. 63 years later, in 1928, the people of Calaveras County decided to hold a contest just like the one that Twain had described a number of years earlier.
Number 5. What type of contest is it? Number 6. Approximately how many frogs participate each year? Number 7. How many times does a frog need to jump to win? Number 8. What is true about the frog jumping contest? Questions 9 through 12. Listen to a talk given to a group of new university students.
Hello, I'm Mr. Teal, the head librarian, and I'd like to explain to you about checking out books from this library. Students with ID cards can check out books, and the books may be kept for up to 2 weeks. The process for checking the books out is really quite simple because of the computerized checkout system. When you find a book in the library that you would like to check out, just bring it here to the circulation desk. The circulation desk is the desk where you check materials out from the library. All you need when you come to the circulation desk is the book or books that you want to check out and your student ID card. At the circulation desk, the clerk will take the book and the ID card and run them through the computerized scanner. A form is printed quickly by the computer, and you need to sign the form. That's all there is to it. Just remember to bring your ID card when you come to the library, to sign the form at the circulation desk, and to return the books within 2 weeks, and you won't have any problems here at the library.
Number 9. Who is giving this talk? Number 10. What is the circulation desk? Number 11. What do the students need to take books from the library? Number 12. How long may students keep the books? TOEFL exercise, skills 10 through 12, page 61. In this exercise, you will use all of the information that you learned in skills 10 through 12. Questions 1 through 4. Listen to a description of the Ringling Museum.
In a few minutes, we'll be arriving at the Ringling Museum in Sarasota, Florida. This museum was built by John Ringling and his wife, Mabel. John Ringling became famous as one of the Ringling Brothers, who formed the Ringling Brothers Circus. We'll be visiting 2 areas, the Museum of Art and the Circus Gallery. The Museum of Art contains some excellent Baroque paintings, including some by Rubens. The Circus Gallery contains items from circuses of years past, including a 100-year-old circus parade wagon. Enjoy your visit to the Ringling Museum. I'll see you back at the bus in 3 hours.
Number 1. Who is probably talking? Number 2. Why did John Ringling become famous? Number 3. What is included in the Circus Gallery? Number 4. What should the people do in 3 hours? Questions 5 through 8. Listen to a lecture by a business professor.
Henry Ford's Model T automobile is a great example of the benefits of mass production. Henry Ford introduced the Model T in 1908. These first Model T cars weren't mass-produced. They were sold for a price of $850 each. The Model T cars were very popular, and many people wanted to own them. To meet this high demand, Henry Ford designed the first major assembly line. With this assembly line, cars could be produced more quickly, efficiently, and cheaply. Using the assembly line method of production, the company was able to produce 1,000 identical cars a day. The price of the Model T dropped from $850 to $440 per car by 1914. The price dropped even further to $290 per car by 1924. This example clearly demonstrates the effect that mass production can have on prices.
Number 5. What is the Model T? Number 6. When was the Model T introduced? Number 7. What was not true about assembly line production by Ford? Number 8. What happened to the price of the Model T over time? Questions 9 through 12. Listen to a talk by a university graduate student advisor.
Hello, I'm Ms. Barker, the graduate advisor in the psychology department. You should all be new graduate students in the department. Because I'm your advisor, we'll be seeing a lot of each other during your studies. Today, I'd like to explain a choice that you have to make about your program in psychology. You must decide how you want to finish your program. At the end of this program, you must do one of two things. Either you must write a thesis, or you must take comprehensive exams. Let me tell you a little bit about each of them. A thesis is a long research paper, perhaps 100 or 200 pages long. It's an in-depth study of one area from your graduate studies. Comprehensive exams are exams that cover all of the material in your graduate program. Basically, you must decide if you want to cover one area in depth in your program, so you would write a thesis, or if you'd like a more general program, you would take comprehensive exams. You don't need to decide today about a thesis or comprehensive exams. You have 6 months to think about it.
Number 9. Who is Ms. Barker talking to? Number 10. What choice do the students have to make? Number 11. What are comprehensive exams? Number 12. When do the students need to make the decision?